I remember one job. Oh man, I haven't thought of this in a long time. I remember one job. This is early on. Like let's like transitioning from being a PA, right? So like the guy that would just like I showed up on time, picking up vans, happy trucks, whatever, and then I started getting grip and electric work, which is what I wanted to do, right? So I was again willing to do whatever it took, and this was shortly after the Freedom Tower had opened, right? So it was a big deal, and this shoot, Mike brought me out on this shoot because it was for like the architect. It was like
Silverstein brother
yeah,
property.
yeah, yeah. So it was like super time sensitive, right? Like we had to get this lit, and we were gonna have like 25 minutes with this guy who's like big deal, like the one of the biggest architects living in the world. And so it was just one of those shoots though where it was like didn't have the production support that you would on a bigger job. And so there's still a lot of construction down there too. I should add just to set the scene here a little bit. And this truck that we got is like a rental, and it has a lift gate that does one of these, does like a 45 at the end without warning you, right? So I'm looking around, the truck driver, the PAs, they're nowhere to be found. And I'm on the radio and they're like, we need this. Like, it's a big giant HMI, like with a bunch of cabling and header. It's like probably like a 10K, to fight the sunlight that you're going to have at the top floor up there. And so 10 or 12K, enormous, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take it down myself. So I'm bringing this gate down, and it does one of these, and I'm like, oh my God. This is something you should never do, by the way. Let the gear go. You're worth more than the gear, even if you don't know your own self
100%.
worth. But at that time, I was like, I can't let this light go down, or my career is over. So I grabbed the yoke, right? And it's rolling down. It's coming down and it's going over, right? So it hits the ground and goes over. Somehow I do a somersault with it, caressing this giant HMI that's like the size of me, right? And it rolls over with me. And the cabling and everything flips over. And I do like 2 more somersaults with it, right? And I'm like, oh my, I'm never going to work in this business again. I've fucking destroyed every chance I have to make this a living. And so I get up, I flip the hamper over, and all this cabling's in there. And I'm throwing the cables in, I throw the ballast in. It's heavy as shit, right? I get the light, I like some world's strongest men, and get it. And then all of a sudden, like an 80s movie, I hear this slow clapping, right? And I look around and it's like the union iron workers are on their coffee break and they're all like ordering breakfast and they're smoking cigarettes and this dude's like sarcastically clapping. And it's like I look around and it's like an 80s movie. I'm not kidding. There's like this is not an exaggeration. It's like a block of dudes in line to get their food because it's like a huge construction project, right? So like every union worker, like electricians and iron workers, HVAC dudes, everybody's like sarcastically cheering me on. And it was like, if you called central casting for this dude that came up to me, you couldn't cast this dude. It's like, he'd be like, oh, he's a little too much. He comes up to me, goes, hey, I gotta ask you something, bro. And I was like, what's that? I was like throwing stuff in this hamper. He goes, do you know karate or something? He goes, the way you fucking somersaulted like that and jumped up. He's like, you got no karate. I got a bet with my buddy over here. You know karate, right? And I was like, nope, just grew up watching Chris Farley, and I'm a useless son of a bitch. It's gonna lose my career already, and it's not even started. And I said that, I go, no, man, I just grew up watching Chris Farley, and he goes, and I had a big Pelican case, too, down there that I had to bring up, and he goes, so what, that's your lunchbox? Ha! I was like, and he goes, I'm just kidding you, man. He goes, I wish I could get my guys to work like that. So it was like, busted my balls when he was like, I respect that. You fucked up big time, but you know what? You're fixing it. You fucked up, but look at you. You're fixing it. You're all right. You're gonna be okay. And it was like God sent that little angel down to say, like, you know what? You're made to live in New York, kid. You don't have to go back to the dirt road.
I remember you coming up and not telling me
I
one
didn't say
thing
shit.
of what had happened.
I
could just tell something was going on because BK was fucking bright red and extra sweaty. And I was like, you okay? He's like, yeah!
No, all these tails. I don't know why all these extra tails and shit are out. And this cable's coiled right. Man, this fucking rental house. I don't know. I'd go with probably another rental house. Anyways, hey, where's the bathroom? I have to take a shower.
Oh my god.
So that's real. That's sounds like I'm making that up. That is 100% exactly how it happened.
That was when they were finishing the Oculus.
Yeah.
The Oculus is right next to it, and they were finishing all that shit.
Oh my God, the level of security there too, man. It was crazy. And I think one of the security guards like saw me because she like let me right in. She'd been giving me shit. I was like, oh, this dude's having a bad day. And I'm not kidding, man. I was like watching that HMI. I was like, please God, I'm never gonna ask for another favor. Let that thing fucking turn on.
I'll go back to church.
And then I don't even think the dude even showed up.
Yeah,
so it was all we didn't even
like
use
lit
it.
the scene, and
It was
then he
all
walked
for
outside.
nothing. That's like that's 100%. That's grip and electric right there for you. Great practice. If I can sacrifice my life, my pride, I'm never gonna be an iron worker or IEW. HVAC won't have me because they have footage of me like that. And then we don't even use the fucking thing, right? It was good effort, though, Way to go, Obalobo. It means fat, lazy guy, You're not bad for a fat, lazy idiot.
You say fat kung fu guy.
You know Kung Fu?
You know karate.
You know karate? I asked my guys. I got a bet. I'll never forget that, dude.
Bryan Karate, that's what they call
Like hard hat. Just
Oh, that was a great day. Not for you.